because if he does not make an agreement with the Nets, there's a list of teams that he says he wants to play for. However, when you look at the list of teams and the potential cap space, if he does not opt in, it looks like only the Heat or the Knicks could sort of bring on someone of his ability and salary. What do you think happens, and how do you think this all plays out?
So if you're the Nets, listen up and listen up close. You're already the B side in your own A market in New York City. It didn't matter if you had KD, Kyrie, James Harden, and Ben Simmons. You still won the same amount of games as the New York Knicks this year. Not signing Kyrie isn't only about signing him. It's also about retaining KD. You're a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. He's one of the most talented players in basketball. And yes, he's had some injury issues. Yes, over the last couple of years, we've dealt with COVID, and he didn't get vaccinated. But if you don't sign Kyrie Irving for the next few years to play basketball, when you already got KD under contract, it would be asinine to lose both of them in the same offseason. If you're the Nets, sign Kyrie. Get the deal done.
It really seems like it is that simple. Now the question is, what it feels like is happening is Kyrie Irving wants the full max, and he feels like he deserves that. And the Nets are looking at the situation and trying to sort of like dial it back a little bit in years and money. If you are Sean Marks, you give him the absolute max.
Yes, so when you look at the journey of the NBA and players that have made like 7 straight All-Star games, but played as many games as Kyrie, that list is Shaq, Grant Hill, and KD. Basically, of players that are elite level players but dealt with injuries, but still were so very talented enough that they made the All-Star team. The NBA is about guaranteed contracts. If you really want to look around the league and look under a rock and talk about over the next year or two, players that you think may not match the salary versus their productivity on the team, as long as Kyrie healthy, he ain't going to be one of those guys. He averaged 27 points this year, basically a 50, 40, 90 player, and he's friends with KD. You find a way to keep them if you're the Nets, if you're going to be relevant. This is your chance. KD just saw the Warriors win the championship. Kyrie just saw the Celtics make the finals. He don't really want to go back crawling to LeBron. We really don't want to see KD barnstorming around the league like he's not an all-time great, going to jump and play with multiple other great players. Like, this was their opportunity they signed up for, that they wanted to get it done. I want to see them healthy and see if they have an opportunity to chase that goal.
So, Jalen, you made a good point when talking about Kyrie, because a lot of people point back to the last 3 years and all of the games that he's missed. There was an injury, then there was the bubble, which was insane, and then there's this vaccination situation last year, which is his right not to get vaccinated. So he is more available than it seems the last 3 years. However, if you have Kevin Durant, then you sign Kyrie Irving to make Kevin Durant happy. And am I stupid to think, this happens to me almost every offseason, Joe Harris comes back, Ben Simmons is healthy, a fresh Kyrie with a contract, KD knowing he's going to be there for a long time and locked in. That, to me, is a top 3 team in the East. Easy.
You signed Kyrie just to keep KD. And the times that he's not healthy, you turn the ball over KD and be like, big fella, we're going to need 35-plus minutes tonight. And guess what? He going to be like, cool. If you notice how KD's playing this, he not like, I'm going to be the guy that try to make Kyrie get vaccinated. Or he's not the guy that's like, I'm going to try to get him to take less money. He like, they got the money. They got me under contract for the next couple of years. Why not pay him? And that's how I feel.
Well, our friend Logan Murdoch from The Ringer has said that KD is not really talking with the front office through this process. So it all leads to speculation. If Kyrie leaves, does KD leave? Does he demand a trade? And Dame Lillard hears all this noise, and he takes out his Instagram fingers and he posts this picture, which I love so much. It's a Photoshop of Dame Lillard next to Kevin Durant in a Portland Blazers uniform. Now, is he just playing around on the internet, or is this something that he's kind of actually lobbying for?
I can't wait to see Dame Dollar back balling and healthy this season. And I would be happy if he not only got a perimeter player that wasn't C.J. McCollum that could be dominant, but also like a guy that could play 3-4 up front. But here's what I want to reiterate. Do you really want to see like by the way, I want to watch KD play basketball anytime, anywhere. But as an all-time great player, I just hope at this point of his career is not changing team to team to join up with other star players in order to try to be on a contender when he is him. Let me repeat that. KD is a him. We win because we got him. So now I don't want to see him like, oh, Kyrie ain't there. Maybe I'll go to Portland. Maybe I'll go to Miami. Maybe I'll go to LA. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But I think they find a way to work this out. The Nets have the money. They have KD under contract the next couple of years. Find a way to pay Kyrie his bread. You knew what you were signing up for when they came to Brooklyn.
We all kind of feel that's where it's going to end up with KD and Kyrie in Brooklyn making another run at it in the Eastern Conference. Now, Mr. Rose, just fresh off the draft, we have a new crop of stars coming into the league and personalities, and one of the ones that we love is Benedict Mathurin because he says things like this, quote, "A lot of people say LeBron's great. I want to see how great he is. I don't think anybody is better than me. He's going to have to show me he's better than me." Jalen, what do you think about the confidence from Benedict Mathurin?
I love it. And when we went into this draft and we were talking about players that I felt would be sleepers amongst the names that weren't being discussed, you know he was the guy that I mentioned. That's a great pickup for Indiana. But what this probably tells me is that he didn't grow up in the LeBron circuit. He didn't grow up going to his camps. He's probably not a clutch client. So that's pretty much what it tells me. And it also tells me that he understands that LeBron's an all-time great. He just got drafted to play basketball. What do you think he's supposed to do when the Lakers come to town?
Exactly.
Like, miss the game because of load management? No, you try to make a name for yourself, not against the 449th player in particular in the league. You make a name for yourself against LeBron.
So, Mr. Rose, explain to our audience what your mindset was when you were going into a game against prime Michael Jordan.
So the media is using this term loosely now, but the term is called irrational confidence. And what that means is each time you go into a sporting event, there's a favorite and an underdog. Bang, bang, watch out, Shaq. And the one thing about being an underdog or a favorite, you know it, Jacoby. I knew when we was playing against Hakeem Olajuwon right then, playing against Gary Payton right then, against my hometown Pistons, future Hall of Famer Grant Hill. Like, we weren't the favorite, and I wasn't the favorite. So therefore, that's your chance to go make a name for yourself and show the league that you belong. And that's what the young fella's gonna do.
Jalen, you are so good at so much, but you have one fatal flaw, and that is the emotionally abusive relationship that you have with the Detroit Lions. You just year after year, the Lions disappoint you. Right around this time of year, you get excited about going 10-7 or whatever, but you're not alone. Detroit rapper Young Jock has this tattoo on the side of his head and said, "Believe in me like I believe in the Lions." Young Rock.
I see you, family. Way to
Young
represent. That's how we do it. 10 toes down in the city. Boss up. Rock your Buffaloes. Say what up, though. You see me every day on the show. It's people that play for the Lions that don't have a helmet up. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. That's day one. That's 10 toes down. And you heard Jaden Ivey. He come from a family of Lions fans. We got to get our top pick, some Buffaloes, and get them to a Lions game.
Big shout to Young Rock. You can listen to his music on all streaming platforms. Jalen, it's time for one of our signature segments. It's Soft Mover Boss Move. Jalen, the BET Awards were this weekend, and Ray J attended, and he was enthusiastic in the crowd, but he also did this while he was in the audience. Take a look at our guy Ray J with a cup of noodles. Jalen, sophomore boss move, eating a cup of noodles when you're in the crowd.
It's definitely a boss move, and people gotta remember something. Ray J is a master marketer. You know, he's gonna be the master P of turning around selling those soon. And are those noodles warm, sir? That's my question for you. Are they warm?
Hot.
Gotta be extra hot. And make sure you drink the broth too when you get done.
Oh yeah. Look how fast he's eating them. Just like me. I'm gonna finish these. You take us to break.
Ray J's a master marketer. He'll be selling those soon. Like, we're gonna be selling French Montana's new project that we're promoting. Up next, our guy, French Montana, joining Jalen and Jacoby.
He is Jalen Rose. I am David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What
Boss
is it
up.
that we
get it,
do?
people!
Coming to you live from the Seaport and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose.
What up, though?
Returning to Jalen and Jacoby.
Montana.
One of the best rappers out. French Montana. Thank you so much for taking the time.
What's up, family? What's going on?
New project, Montega, available now anywhere you can get music. Get that, stream it, download it.
platforms.
What can fans expect?
Man, Montana, in the purest way. Me and Harry Fraud, when we come together, we make the best music. So we never made a full-length project. So I'm excited for this one.
Ooh, that's dope. Bricks and Bags. Jada's on the show every day because we got the Hall of Fame bus. Benny the Butcher is our special correspondent. Y'all got a single coming out. What was it like putting that together?
Man, I just felt like, when you go down south, you hear, the down south music. When you go to LA, you hear the music with that G-funk in it. When I came back to New York, I just kind of, it sounded like London for a little bit for me. So I wanted to tap back into the pillars of hip hop. And to, back to the punchlines, back to that wavy swag, and back, So I grabbed, one of my favorites, Jadakiss. He gave me my first verse when I first started, making music. Then I grabbed one of the young spitters, Benny the Butcher. Then I made that marriage happen, and you got Bricks and Bags. And I took the old, shout out to MOP. I took the old MOP sample. We got the inspiration. Oh, we went back digging in the crates, and we got a masterpiece.
A lot of people know French Montana because he has bars, but he also used to get buckets. He used to get buckets. The draft was last week. What do you think about what the New York Knicks did or kind of didn't do?
I mean, we need some more players. Knicks, we gotta win. We ain't win the championship since 1973. We gotta get a conference. We gotta get a conference, man. Man, all we could do is pray. It's like praying for water in the desert.
I have to ask you, like, what as a Detroit native, I got a chance to look at hip hop through movies in New York before I got a chance to go to New York. What is it like for you growing up in the birthplace of hip hop in a lot of ways when you're in New York City?
Man, I just remember coming from Africa when I was 13 and not speaking English and being right there and when I was there, it was just playing for Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan was there, because Big Pun was down the street coming to play us, but Big Punisher, Slick Rick down the street, KRS-One down the street, all the fathers of hip hop down the street. So it's when you rap, they start sucking their teeth yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So coming out of there and staying strong and from battle rap to, to really holding your name down and really putting in 10 years before the rest of the world don't even, know you. I feel like it was a good, it was like Sparta, man. It was like gladiator school for for hip hop, for me at least.
We cover sports very closely here on Jalen and Jacoby. We also cover versus battles like they're the NBA Finals. now there's rumors out there that you sort of are part of the creation of the versus franchise. Please explain.
Yeah, I remember I had told Swiss Beats that I need my money, and he sent me the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? It's a shot to spit. You know, but I remember just watching the producers do the beat battles, and I remember Tory Lanez had the quarantine radio, and Tory Lanez had wanted me to go up on radio, but I was like, we gotta add a little spice to it. So how come we do quarantine radio? Then we battle on quarantine radio. So he was like, all right, let's do it. So he started talking about his hits. I started talking about mine. So it started off as a friendly competition. But I knew he was going cheap. So I called Swiss Beats and Timberland, and I was like, yo, I need y'all to, to host this joint. You know what I'm saying? So they hosted the joint, and we did it live on Instagram. So after that, history was made. After my verses, the rest took off. And this is all documented.
That's crazy. What history? But I have to ask you, if you had to compare your game to an NBA player, who would you compare your game to and why?
I would say when Steve Francis was at his peak.
I like that one.
Yeah. I would say Steve Francis when he was at his peak. Is just somebody that could just do everything. I can make the New York rap. He's just dribble. He's dunking. Dunking over everybody. When he was with Houston, just going ham. I felt like that's what I compare it to. I feel like I can make down south music. I go make music with Rose. I could do this. I could do that. I feel like he had an all around game.
I love that one.
Yeah.
See, you got to dig into the crates for that one. I love that one. So when he was strong, he's athletic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You mentioned Rose, Rick Ross. He's on the album.
Rose!
Quavo's on the album. We mentioned Jadakiss and Benny Butcher on the album. Many others on the album. And you've had features, and you've done features with so many different artists. Who's someone that you want to work with that you have not?
The only person I want to work with that I haven't worked with yet is Max B when he come home from jail.
Ooh.
That's the mic drop.
That's the only. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the only thing I want to do to close out my chapter.
Montega, the new project, on all platforms. Anywhere you listen to music, download it, stream it, cop it, buy it, anything you can do. French, congratulations on all your success. And the album has hit after hit after hit. It's available right now. You're welcome to come back on Jalen Jacoby anytime,
family.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
All love.
We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching Jalen and Jacoby.